since you guys were part of the pioneer game of Xbox, like, did you work with any of the higher ups of Microsoft, Xbox, and like Bill Gates himself, since it was a big deal to him, how Xbox was pushing the boundaries of what Microsoft was at the time?
Are you asking if we ever met Bill Gates?
Yeah.
No. My only interaction with Bill...
I did.
Did you meet Bill Gates?
I met Bill Gates.
Okay.
Was that but Bill Gates came up to me and he said, "So, were you in Wicked on Broadway?" You thought you were Glinda? I have no idea. I was like, "No, I play Cortana in Halo." Oh.
Okay.
Yes,
The
yeah.
The only interaction I ever had
He was very
Bill,
nice.
Bill Gates was when Windows 95 came out. They had it coming out partly for the new iteration of Windows, and that
Windows 95?
Windows 95.
Whoa, go way back here.
Oh yeah. So this was right after the discovery of electricity. So they were having a big presentation for it, and I was the narrator of the.
Oh.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, on door number 5, whatever.
Who knew?
Yeah, and Gates hated it.
It's like, fire that guy.
Yeah, I think he did fire it.
He should never work again.
That's right. I recorded the whole thing. I don't think they ever used any of it. So,
Wow.
Thanks, Bill. Look who's laughing now, though.
I think Bill is still laughing.
My question is, if Master Chief and Cortana were here at Momocon, how do you think they would react to being here?
How would they react?
If they were at Momocon.
I think they would just be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
That's just, I can't put them here.
What do you think they would say?
You guys asked 2 good questions.
You've stumped us.
Stop the voice acting.
Yeah, no, I think they would be very confused as to what they were doing here and how they could serve.
I think they would be.
Maybe they'd be serving pretzels. Taking out the garbage, putting more soap in there's no soap in the bathroom, we need more soap in the women's restroom. They'd be serving.
They'd be eating pretzels.
Yeah, he'd be
I know
eating
that
pretzels.
for sure.
Well, this Master Chief is eating pretzels. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe enjoying some merch. I don't know, Cortana likes sparkly things. Yeah.
I think they would be amazed at the impact that they have had on the community.
Nice.
I think they would be astounded at the depth of what this game has done. That's what I hear.
Thank you.
Hey, Chief. Hey, Cortana.
Hi.
I have a question about the TV show. And with as much lore there is behind the games and the books and the movies that have already existed, do y'all agree with the current state of the series, the way it's telling its story? And if you do, that's great. If you don't, what would you like to see change in the fall season?
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing more of Chief and Cortana's relationship growing and them figuring each other out. That is exciting to me, so that's what I would enjoy seeing more of in the show.
Yeah, I mean, I can only comment as a viewer, and I enjoy watching it, and I think it's sort of it has a little bit of the original canon, and then there's a whole new deal. And I think anybody, especially gamers, Halo fans, going into it have to, first of all, have an open mind, as you would about anything else, and view it as, sort of let it wash over you. Does this entertain me? And that's really the end of the day. it's not about whether it stays true to the lore necessarily. Does it entertain me? Am I enjoying the story? Do I care about these people or creatures or you know, whatever? And that's the way I look at it, and it entertains me, you know, which I think is the point.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hi.
Hi. So first off, thank you for having such a massive impact on everyone here, including myself, with being part of this awesome series. And my question is, because you guys have had such a, I mean, you guys are more or less the path makers with this franchise. When it comes to fan-created content, such as other spin-off shows, such as Red vs. Blue, or even some of just the simple basic machinima that people make, do you ever watch that stuff? Does it kind of make you feel humbled, or what's your perspective on that kind of thing?
This whole experience has humbled me in a great way to see how much power it has, and with my tiny little connection to it, because there's so many people who work on this. And as you say, fans who create out of this is a remarkable thing. And yeah, I mean, I've watched Red vs. Blue. Who hasn't? Is there anybody who hasn't? No, you, yeah.
Red or blue?
Okay, red, all red. It's hard for me to choose. And it is remarkable to see the growth that's come out of it. So yes, it is humbling, and yeah, I watch some of it sometimes just to see what is exciting to people.
I'm amazed at some of the things.
So am I.
I'm just, the production quality astounds me on some of the stuff that I've seen made by you know, just average folks like yourself, and it's really incredible. I mean, what you can do with a laptop these days.
Thank you.
But stop with the teabagging, everybody. Stop with it. Stop with it. Stop already.
So if you guys had a spark runners, how many runs do you guys think?
If we had a what?
If you guys had the spark runners, how many runs do you think you'd take out before they got you?
You mean me, Jen Taylor? 0. 0. I'd be dead in a second. So sad.
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand you. Yeah. Oh, how many you got?
Oh, yeah!
Do you guys have a specific favorite line from y'all's character from the entire franchise?
Do we have a favorite line? Welcome home, John.
She said that to me once about being a machine. My favorite line.
Hey guys, thank you for both coming to Atlanta. So my question is, Halo 4 was more emotional, focused on the dynamic between Chief and Cortana. So when you guys were reading the script, how did you guys kind of take that, you know, the whole dynamic between them and how they emotionally separate at the end? I mean, spoilers for anybody who hasn't played Halo 4, obviously. But, right.
Years later.
What's interesting is that so often when you're recording a game, you don't get the whole story. You're not told. You're given your lines for in each moment, and you don't know what the interaction is. I feel like that was the case for most of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, since we're doing motion capture, and you often get the script, right, so that you know what you're doing, where you're going, but most of the time you don't. But Halo 4 was definitely, I remember we did get the script for that one.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, no, she's dead. And not for like, oh no, I don't have a job anymore, but more of like, oh no, I don't get to play with this character anymore. It was heartbreaking. And am I answering your question?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
just in general, like how you guys reacted to the story of Halo 4. I mean, for
But it
most
was
of
also
us,
fun to do.
yeah,
I mean,
right. It was very emotional,
actors like to stretch and be crazy and be weird, and so it was really fun for me to do because I got to, especially when the rampancy, oh sorry, spoiler, started happening. That was really fun to explore that.
Tell them the story about when the direction you got.
Oh well, I got lots of different, but there are. Those scenes are very layered, and they would have me do it a million different ways. Like, okay, have Cortana read this line. Great, Cortana's read this line. Now we want baby Cortana. Okay, now we want wizard Cortana. Now farmer Cortana. Now, and then then like Cortana who is enraged, Cortana who is weeping over the loss of, and then they layered it all together. So what you hear is a mix of a gazillion different line readings, basically. And that was super fun to do,
I think for me, as Jen mentioned, it's the first time we got to actually work together in the same studio at the same time doing that stuff. And that was a real thrill for me. But it was also a big challenge because, we were going to take, my character and Cortana for that matter, but from my point of view, in a place that he had never been, and it was trying to find that balance between, the genuine emotion that he was feeling with the loss of the only entity that really meant anything to him in his entire life, and how he was trying to deal with that, and being a person who had no idea how to, because he's.
No, keep on, sorry.
Okay. He's not really good at expressing emotion. That was the challenge as I saw it. So anyway, we get to a scene. It was the very end, and I told Jen, and you remember it wasn't like we knew each other the way we know each other now. So I said to her before we went to record that part, that Jen, I said I may reach for your hand, during that scene to help me stay in the place I want to be at emotionally. And Jen says, okay, fine, that's fine. So now I'm all like, in my head on this thing, and we get to that point, and Jen extends her hand, for me to take. And I don't take her hand. I'm so wrapped up in it, I don't even see her. She's like, wow, dude. Left me hanging, because I was just so, at that point, I went the other way that I thought I was going to go. But that was that was some of the fun and interesting challenges that those sessions were.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. And lots of crying. There was lots of crying.
There was lots of crying.
Yeah.
Hey, hi Chief, hi Cortana.
Hi.
My one question is, if you could switch universes as your two characters, take over for anybody else, why? Who and why?
If we could, I'm not sure I have.
If we could go into any other universe, I want to be in the Marvel universe.
Oh.
Yeah. I feel like that's an easy one. I feel like that's softball.
Yeah. I don't know, that's a good question. I never think about that. The first thing that comes to mind is Batman. Do we like the new Batman?
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet. I hear it's
I really like it.
Yeah,
I think that's an interesting, and actually you could draw, a few parallels sort of between him and Master Chief, in certain ways. I think that would be a fun universe to turn into.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
You mentioned the editors earlier that put your stuff together. Who are those unnamed people, and have you ever done any panels with them or interacted with them since?
No. Who are the editors? They're different for every single game, and we generally don't get to meet them. I mean, I think that as far as our work goes, for maybe in the beginning, Marty and Joe probably chose a lot of the stuff, deciding which game. But they also have to leave it open, because oftentimes when you're doing a scene and you're doing just voiceover mainly, but also mocap, they'll work on a scene and you're delivering it a certain way, and then they'll come back to you a week later, call you back in and go, actually, this is now a super heightened moment, and we need to do this scene differently because you're being attacked. It's the same scene, but you're being attacked right now, so you have to give them as many options as possible so that they can pick and choose. But yeah, probably, I mean, I'm guessing Marty and Joe chose a lot of what we did in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
no,
I had
that's
no
not,
idea.
we don't get to, no, we don't, you know. But whenever you're recording stuff, the director is always going, okay, give me 3 options. Great, B. Next? Great, I'll take A on that one. Next? Great, C. So they are choosing as you go. Who actually edits it and puts it in the game? I don't know that I've ever.
Yeah, I don't know who makes
God,
it.
yeah, we don't get,
That's
there's
good.
so many people working on this project.
Yeah.
This is such a huge world, and we're just the tiny little stem on top of the cherry. I mean, truly, like, this is a massive project and a massive world, and we just get to be honored to meet all of you guys. I wish everybody could see what an impact it has on people, because it is pretty intense.
We just get to take all the credit.
We get to take the credit.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.